everyone. As we move into week 3, we're going to continue our discussion on how natural communities work, right? So we talked last week about this concept of ecosystems. We talked about how ecosystems work. We talked how energy moves through an ecosystem, right? Whereas materials are cycled through an ecosystem. And the next piece we need to discuss then is we need to learn a little bit about the populations of living things. So again, this is all laying sort of the background or the base knowledge, if you will, so we can understand how humans are impacting these systems, right? So before we can study the human impacts of what we're doing to our environment, we have to understand how the environment works first. So we've laid a lot of groundwork so far. We understand what these natural systems are, these ecosystems. Now we're also going to talk about the things that live in the ecosystems, specifically how populations change. So in week 3 here, we have 2 actually separate topics when we discuss population dynamics is what we're calling it. Topic 1 is population dynamics of a natural population of living things. So anything that is not a human. So plants, animals, bacteria, protists, you name it. You're going to learn about how populations change, right? They're not constant. They don't stay static. The number of individuals changes and fluctuates. And you're going to learn how that happens. The second topic is human populations, because humans are different. We follow a different set of rules than sort of all other living things do. And there are a variety of different reasons why that is. And you'll learn about that this week as well. For lab this week, we have probably our most math-intensive lab. And it's not difficult math by any means, but I know that sometimes people can get kind of anxious and nervous about math. Like I said, I've tried to give you as many sample problems as I can in the lab, so you know exactly what these calculations look like and how to do them. But again, the idea here is we're going to look at population growth in the Harper College District, so that the communities that make up Harper's district, we're going to look and see how they have changed over the last 30 years, and we're going to calculate rates of growth, for example, figure out which communities are growing the fastest, which are growing the slowest, and those types of things. Again, it's something that all of you are completely capable of doing. It's not difficult, but it does take a little bit of time to get through these problems. So please make sure you give yourself plenty of time this week to work through these problems. I'm trying to think. I've had a couple questions on uploading assignments in Blackboard, and I don't know if it was from questions from this particular group, or I do have a couple other sections I'm teaching. But just as a reminder, there's kind of written instructions here on exactly what you do. But after you download the document itself and complete it, you just actually hit the title of the assignment, which in this case is populations, and it takes you to the submission page where you'll actually just attach a file right here. So remember, you only get 1 attempt for these. So if something does happen and you accidentally upload the wrong copy or the wrong version, you can just email me the correct one. I'm fine with that. Or you can email me and have me reset the assignment for you, and then you can submit the right one that you need to. Okay. I'm trying to think. What else? Assignments this week. We have our first group leaders for discussion this week. So I'm pretty sure in looking at my learning teams, I'm pretty sure that week 3 and week 2 has a discussion leader for this week. Team 1 still does not. Remember, if you don't sign up to be a discussion leader, you will automatically lose discussion points. Like you can't participate in discussion if there was a week that you were supposed to sign up and that you didn't. So just keep that in mind. So I still have several people from Group 1 that have not signed up to be discussion leader, and even a few people from Team 2. But in any case, please make sure you take care of that. But here's the instructions on exactly how to be team leader. So by Thursday of your discussion week, which is this week, you need to go to your group board, whatever your group board happens to be. Okay, so I am going to go to Team 1 here. So I go to my group discussion board. And again, the instructions are in that video, but just real quickly, you're going to hit create a forum. Okay, you're going to write discussion week 3 and your name. Okay, tell us the title of your article and then put a link to your article right here in the description of that thread. And then, the description of the forum. And then once the forum has been written, you can go ahead and click on it, and in the thread, write your, again, summary of your article, and then also a response to it. So the idea is, why did you choose this article? Why do you think it was interesting? What made it something that you wanted to share with other students? Okay, so again, you have to do that by Thursday of your discussion week so that you can give the other people in your discussion group time to read the article and respond to your post, and then also reply to each other. So again, all the instructions are here. That was just a really brief overview of what you need to do. These instructions will be here every single week. So I promise that, that for each week you don't have to scroll back and figure out where the set of instruction is. So I'll put this every single week out there so that you all have plenty of time to get this watched before you actually have to do that. The other thing I wanted to draw your attention to is an upcoming assignment. It's not due this week, but it's going to be due next week. And I want you all to start thinking about your Green Tech project. So, what is your Green Tech project? So if you've been to my additional information tab here, and you've clicked on the Green Technology presentations, there's a little bit of information about this. Oh, and I apologize right now. I just realized that I have the timelines for my spring class versus my fall class. So forgive me, I will fix all of these times. But here's essentially what it is. Your project is, I want you to pick some sort of new and exciting and interesting technology that is currently being either developed, or it could be an existing technology that's relatively new. Again, I don't want something that's been around for like a really long time. I want things that are helping the environment. So think of all the different ways that we're using and harnessing technology to make the world a better place, right? And there's so many different topics you can choose here. You can talk about energy products. You can talk about products that clean the air or are good for the water, or whatever it is. There's a whole host of different ways that you can take this project. So what you're going to do is you're going to create something, some type of presentation. And I leave it very vague because you get to choose what you want to do. You can write a paper. You can make a PowerPoint presentation. You can make a video. There's a whole host of different things that you can do for this project. But all I want you to do now is just come up with some ideas. Okay, so that's kind of step 1, and again, I'll fix these due dates. Step 1 is actually just coming up with some ideas for what you want to do, okay? And that's going to be due next week, so not this week, week 3, but next week, week 4. I'm going to need you to submit a list of at least 3 different ideas you have on what you want your project to be about, okay? And again, this is a tentative list. If your ideas change and you learn about new things, that's fine, or you can stick to this list. I'll give you feedback and let you know if you're on the right track or if you need to adapt or modify your topics in some ways. So I'll help you out in this part, but I just kind of wanted to leave that out there so that you know this is coming up here shortly, sort of our first part of this larger project. So again, if you have not already done so, you might take a look at it, hit the additional information button here, and once again, it's in Green Technology presentation. All right, well, I think that actually does it for this week. Once again, if anyone has questions, concerns, comments, anything you want, please let me know. There weren't a lot of questions on Socrative this week as far as things that I needed to answer for you about the content. But again, I recognize that some of the content last week, especially the biogeochemical cycles, was a little bit much, right? It was a lot of information to digest. If you didn't, please take a look at these little short videos that I gave you all, because these are really, really helpful in understanding the cycles. They're only like 3 minutes long, very quick, very easy, and they give you a lot of information that will be very useful to you and will help you understand these processes, I think, a little bit better personally. All right, so then that does it. Again, let me know if you all need help or anything else, and I will be in touch with you next week. Bye, everyone.